You're moving to Lynchburg, you're from out of town, and I guarantee one of the first things you've looked up is Lynchburg safe? Maybe you've asked AI, maybe you just asked Google, or somewhere in the middle. And listen, I get it. You don't know this area yet, you don't know which roads connect which neighborhoods, and you don't know what feels normal here, what feels different, if there's some internal drama happening, and what you should actually be paying attention to before you go buying a house. But I want to be very clear at the beginning of this video. I'm not going to sit here and tell you and label these neighborhoods as safe or unsafe because one, that's not my job. Two, it's not legally allowed. And honestly, it's not really that useful of advice because everybody's version of safe is going to be different. We all obviously have a general idea of what safety means, but everybody's tolerance is going to be at different ends on this spectrum. Someone who comes from an inner city of a big city is going to have a different tolerance of safety versus somebody who maybe grew up in a high-end gated community. Makes sense, right? But what I can do in this video is help maybe a relocating buyer or maybe somehow first-time home buyer in Lynchburg, you found this, evaluate Lynchburg using some objective sources, public data, and then also your own criteria and intuition. Because the real question isn't, is Lynchburg safe? Yes or no. The real question is, how do I evaluate different areas around the specific house that I'm looking at to decide whether it fits my comfort level, my routine, my budget, and my life in general? So first, let's talk about crime maps, because this is generally where people go and get redirected when they look up, is Lynchburg safe? So crime maps can be helpful. They can. They can show patterns. They can help you see the differences in property crimes versus, violent crimes versus traffic issues versus downtown activity versus student area activity, commercial corridors, you name it. They can be very helpful at giving you statistics. But crime maps can also scare you half to death if you don't know what you're looking at. And quite frankly, I would say most people probably don't. Because a pin on the map does not actually tell you the whole story. It doesn't tell you that something happened in a parking lot over here, or it happened in an apartment complex, or maybe it was at a business, or maybe it was in the college corridor, or maybe it was during a downtown event that got a little too rowdy. Or maybe it was just something that happened on a quiet residential street 3 blocks away. It doesn't tell you how often it happens, what time of day, whether it actually affects your daily routine, or whether the area around the specific house you want feels comfortable to you. It doesn't tell you those things that I would say debatably are more important. So yes, look at public crime data. Use the Lynchburg Police Department resources or the county department resources. Use the city dashboards if available. Use third-party maps, do whatever you want, but don't let the map make the entire decision for you. It's literally like finding out whether a restaurant's good or not by looking only at the 1-star reviews. Yeah, sometimes they're useful, but sometimes it's also just because, Uncle Jerry got mad because his fries were too crispy. Second, let's understand city versus county. So when people say Lynchburg safety, probably the statistics they're going to get are actually within the Lynchburg city limits. But the truth is, the counties around Lynchburg are just as much a part of Lynchburg as Lynchburg City itself, and they have different jurisdictions, so make sure to do your research in these different public data sources, different tax structures, different services, different daily life patterns, and how safe is going to affect that. Next, I want you to evaluate the exact property area, not just a general reputation. And honestly, this is probably one of the biggest mistakes I see all buyers make, not just relocators. They have this broad opinion that they found online, and then they apply it to basically every house within like a 5-mile radius. And that is not even close to how real life works. In especially Central Virginia, but specifically here in the Lynchburg area, conditions change street by street. The road might feel busy and commercial, and then a few turns away, suddenly you're on like a little quiet street with older homes and big trees. And also the reverse can obviously happen too. So if you're serious about a house, do some literal practical checks. Maybe drive around the area in the morning and in the evening, drive it on the weekend. Check your route to work. Check the route to school if it applies. Check where you're getting your groceries. Look at the lighting and the sidewalks. And you're going to be able to get a good feel of your tolerance based on what your current experience already is. Next, I want you to actually separate safety from lifestyle fit, because sometimes when people say safe, they don't actually mean what we often think when we say safe, because it doesn't just always mean crime. Maybe somebody just wants a place that's quieter, or maybe they just want to know, is their actual home safe? Is it going to have a lot of problems, or have a foundation? Is it solid? Or maybe they have kids and they don't want to be near a main road when the cars are flying by if their kids are playing in the yard. These are different questions, different ideas of safety that's more than just person crime. The next thing I want you to do is also use school data in the right way. I know we're kind of more talking about safety in this video, but if the school matters to you, look at official sources, but of course, go verify in person, because whatever kind of like the crime maps, the data doesn't tell you the whole story. If you were to call me and ask, Adam, I need you to just tell me which schools and neighborhoods are best, that's not what I'm going to do, because one, it's not legal. Two, it's not really that helpful, because my job is to point you to the objective sources, of course, but actually tell you to go and look and see what makes sense, because your intuition is probably going to tell you more than just a statistic. Now, I want to talk honestly about Lynchburg. Lynchburg is not the Andy Griffith show where we are now in Mayberry, but it's not the internet horror story that probably many people make crime statistically negative areas sound like. It is a relatively smaller city with colleges, hospitals, older neighborhoods, suburban edges, downtown development, student areas, rental pockets. It's very, very diverse. And the truth is, a buyer moving from Northern Virginia may experience it differently than someone who's going to be moving from a rural area, somebody who's coming from Charlotte or Raleigh or Richmond or from another place out of state is going to have a completely different baseline of traffic and crime and density and convenience and more. So instead of asking, is Lynchburg safe, maybe we need to start asking things differently like we have in this video. So here's the overall reality, and I want to get really honest with you. All of these areas that crime maps show, people still live here. And the truth is, the safety that most people are concerned about are crime rates, and crime rates aren't inherently caused by area, they are caused by people. Because as of right now, I haven't seen any houses or sidewalks or trees hitting people in the face. And the truth is, people are everywhere, and people are flawed. And sadly, this leads to a world that is broken, and broken things happen, no matter where you might try to place yourself to avoid of those things. Man, Debbie Downer, Adam. Okay, yes, I know. But I'm trying to place the reality here so that you aren't so concerned with crime and safety and whatever that means to you that you completely push away every single option that appears to be bad. The truth is, just figure out what makes the most sense for you, and I have no problem talking through that with you, because I want to make sure that this is the best move that we can help you make. The reality is, buying a house is stressful enough. Fearing for your safety is the last thing that I would want. So what you need is a framework for how to navigate this, how to think through, how to visit, how to use the intuition to figure out what makes the most sense for you. And so if that's you, again, you can click the link down in the description and you can reach out and we can talk through it together. Maybe figure out a time for you to come here and actually experience it versus just tappy in on the computer trying to figure it out or just watching this video. So if that is you, then I guess talk again soon.